Because remember that the underlying approach here is also that we're taking an AI first mindset, right? We're not going to be writing this. AI is going to be writing this. So I'm tempted to, so if we think about like the historical stock data, I know that I got this from Yahoo Finance, right? Yahoo Finance is still a pretty decent source of CSV data for stocks. So I know the manual way for us to do that. But, we could be asking ChatGPT to also be doing that. And as far as things that we can finish today, I think we can also finish Fatima's story about a source of news articles so that we can get sentiment analysis to be run. I think both of those can be done in a single session. So the other ones, I don't think you can, because something tells me that Black-Scholes is going to have a lot of inputs. And this last one, Efficient Frontier, I'm sure the library exists, but we don't know what inputs it's going to require, right? So I'm a little pessimistic that we can solve that one in a single session. So what do you guys think? Give me your preference. Do you want to go after trying to find the news source, or do you want to try to go finding the historical stock data? I mean, we know where to find it, but we're basically going to ask ChatGPT to automate that process for us, right? To write the script that automates that process for us. What do you guys think? Give me some votes in the chat. We want to go after the stock or after the news articles? Both of them are going to be very similar, because remember what I said earlier about the width, right? Where you want to make sure that you're able to do it for multiple potential investments. So one of the requirements is that we're going to need to remind ChatGPT to work in a loop. We're going to give it a loop of individual stock ticker symbols to look at. And it's going to loop through those and create the data accordingly, right? Because that's part of the win, right? That we can do this for 10 or 10,000 different potential investments, right? So I think that'll be interesting, because both of these solutions are going to have like that same quasi architecture. It's just different sources, right? And different return types of data. But I think it's achievable. I think it's achievable. So what do you guys think? Give me some votes. Give me some votes. And then also one more story I need to include in here. Right? We also need to do a local Conda environment, right? That will also become critical, right? So we're going to do that also really, really quickly. Oh, one more thing. Our ID. So we're gonna need both of these. Okay, so Delip is voting for news articles. Anybody else? Anybody else want to vote? The news articles, I hope that we don't run into any licensing issues. It's possible that we might do that. I've had that happen in the past. I have no idea how ChatGPT handles it. Anybody else? Anybody else want to vote? No other votes? Come on, guys. We're either voting for the news articles or the stock data. Like I said, I think they're both similar architectures. You know what? We can probably try to do both. Let's see if we can sneak both in. But yeah, let's just go for it, guys. So first thing we're gonna do, we're gonna ask ChatGPT to set us up with an environment. All right. Let me know if you need me to zoom anything, okay? And I'm going to use Python 3.1.1. Anybody have any objections to that? Yeah, I think we're okay with 3.1.1. So that's what we're going to do there. And I'm going to go ahead and go to my terminal. Remember, guys, IDE and terminal, right? No notebooks here. On to create, and we want to call this alpha farming. You know what, guys? We're going to go ahead and do both of these. I'm seeing votes for stock data and for news. Let's just do both. Okay, Python, proceed. Afsal is bringing up a great point. Afsal, news might contain bias. Afsal, I love it. I love that you're thinking ahead. Okay, so remember, guys, we're still in the team meeting, right? We're still discussing. We're still being professional. So Fatima, back to you. The concern has been brought up that news data can be biased. What say you, Fatima? What do you think? Oh, oops. Okay, guys, we have an environment. So we just completed our first story, guys. Congratulations. Okay, so we have this. Let's go back to our employee. Let's see what ChatGPT gives us for this script. And by the way, if you guys want me to change any prompts or something doesn't look right, just let me know, okay? Okay, looks like Y Finance and News API, which is great because Y Finance might be the same one that we're going to use. Yeah, see, it's going to ask us to do an API key. I was trying to avoid that type of stuff. And then it gets us the articles from the company, returns the articles, stock symbol, news API key, and then title, description, URL. Okay. And actually, let me bring this over. This should be a little easier for everybody to read. So I'll leave that up there if anybody wants to comment on it. What do you guys think? Okay, so Fatima, thank you for the reply. We can cross-check multiple sources to get a balanced view and reduce the effect of any single bias. Okay. So Afsal, back to you. I think Fatima gave you a perfectly reasonable reply for your concern. What do you think? Yeah, so guys, by the way, I think that this code is perfectly reasonable, right? I was really trying to avoid having to use an API key. So maybe we won't actually execute this code, but it looks reasonable in terms of what it's going to do. So it's going to use Y Finance, which is something that we're probably going to use for the price also. And it goes out, gets the company name, and then uses that name to do a search here. And then it gives us the last 10 articles. And then those last 10 articles, excuse me, is what's printed out in the output here. So I think that's fairly reasonable.